floor to the table. At a sudden heavy thud from somewhere outside the room, I paused. Standing in the dark beside the table, I waited, listening. Hearing nothing more, I did a quick mental inventory. My father, John Spencer, who owned Spencer's Garden Center, and my youngest sister, Delphi, had left when the shop closed at 8. I'd turned on the closed sign and bolted the door myself. Then, with no one around, I'd retreated to the office to write my blog, my way of releasing my pent-up frustrations. The store was completely empty, so what had caused the noise? I located my phone, switched on the flashlight, and shined it at the open doorway. Thunder rumbled in the distance as I quietly peered out into the huge garden center. The office where I worked was on the right side of the shop behind the L-shaped checkout counter. I could see that the cash register hadn't been touched, the bolt on the big red doors was still thrown, nothing on any of the shelves had been disturbed, none of the outdoor wall decor was askew, and no windows had been broken. That was a relief, but I still had to track down the source of the noise. Over a century ago, the garden center had been a barn on the very northern edge of Sequoia, Michigan, the last building on Green Street. Now, with a brand-new arched roof, big picture windows, a high-beamed ceiling, cream-colored shiplap walls, and a shiny oak floor, Spencer's was one of the most attractive buildings along the mile stretch of tourist shops. I'd always loved being there. I had a natural green thumb, but I'd never expected to make it my life's work. Another thud turned me in the direction of the outdoor garden area located on an acre lot behind the barn, and then I had my answer. It was Oscar, our friendly neighborhood raccoon, who liked to steal shiny objects. He'd pilfered any number of items from the area where we kept garden decor. I wasn't about to let him take another one. Using my cell phone's flashlight as my guide, I headed toward the back exit, walking down the left side past rows of indoor plants, garden supplies, tools, and small decorative pots. Circling the long oak plank conference table at the rear of the barn, I pushed the glass door open and stepped outside just as the electricity came back on. Hanging lanterns around the perimeter of a ballroom-sized area right outside the building illuminated a cement floor and a wide aisle down the middle that divided the area into two sections. The left side was filled with shelves overflowing with flowering annuals, perennials, and vegetables, while the right side contained stone, clay, glass, and cement garden sculptures, water fountains, large decorative planters, wrought iron benches, and patio furniture. I caught movement from the corner of my eye and backed against the door with a sharp gasp. A man was crouched at the base of a life-sized marble statue of the goddess Athena, now lying on her back in the grass. He had an open pocket-knife in his hand, and his cell phone was propped nearby, its flashlight aimed at the statue's base. He jumped to his feet, obviously as shocked to see me as I was to see him. "Drop that knife and don't move a muscle." I thrust my phone forward, the beam pointed at his face and my trembling finger on the home button. "I've got the police on the line." If only that were true. The hanging lights flickered, threatening to go out again. "Okay," he said in a calm voice. "No problem." Moving slowly, he placed the knife on the ground and raised his hands above his head. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you." "You broke into our shop. What did you think that would do to me?" "Hold on a minute," he said in a rising voice. "I did not break into the shop. I was told to stay here until someone could help me, and that was," he tipped his wrist to see his watch, "over 20 minutes ago." I gave him a skeptical glance. "You've been out here for 20 minutes?" "Over 20 minutes. Again, I'm sorry for alarming you, but I was just doing what I was told." Undeniably good-looking, the man had dark hair that was parted on the side and combed away from his face, big golden-brown eyes, a firm mouth, and a strong jawline. My gaze was drawn down to his expensive tan suede bomber jacket that showed off his muscular shoulders, dark blue jeans that revealed an athletic build, and noticeably pricey navy leather loafers. His expression seemed sincere, but the truth was that I was alone with a stranger behind a big barn on Green Street, the main thoroughfare of our small lakeside town, with only my phone and my